Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I have to tell you a little bit of a story about yesterday's video because what I'm used to doing is actually recording with the cell phone. And what happened yesterday is I went to stop the recording and I reached over to touch the computer screen like it was the mobile and nothing happened. And I was like going, what the hey? What's not, why isn't it working? And then I realized I needed the mouse to close the window or to stop recording. So that's what happened. That's what the last 5 seconds or so of the video was yesterday when that happened. The other thing that I want to tell you about is I have a bucket list. And I think everybody has a bucket list in their lives. There are things that like little things that you want to do that you are saying, yeah, I'm going to do this before I transition. I'm going to do this before I turn 60 or before I turn 70 or whatever. So you've got this list of things that you want to do, what you want to accomplish. So small goals, little things, like I don't know, you want to. I want to one day do the Camino to Santiago de Compostela in Spain. I want to do that one day. I don't know if I ever will. It's a 600 and I don't know, kilometer walk. It's very long and it's very, very intense and it's very involved. This is something I would like to do, but I haven't done, and I would really one day like to do. Um, but the other thing is that I have other small things that I want to accomplish before I transition. Like I want to ride in a car in a convertible. I know that seems like really, really small potatoes, but I want to really ride in a convertible. I want to ride on a motorcycle. I've never, rode on a motorcycle. And when we were in Berlin, I told my nephew, I said that when I come back to Berlin, I want to go for a ride on a motorcycle with you. And he had a little roller, like a moped, and he said, "You want to ride?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I jumped on the back of the moped, helmet and everything, and they were taking pictures and everything. So it was like a really big deal for me, to get to ride on this thing. And we rode around the block, and I was just elated. I felt so happy. It was just like, wow, this is so great. So I think that having a little bit of a bucket list, having little things that you want to do, kind of brings joy to your life. It brings happiness to you, and what have you. And so that's something that I think is like really, really cool. The other little bit of happiness that I had during the week was with this blouse. Last year, I weighed close to 90 kilos, which is overweight. I mean, I'll just say it straight up, it's overweight. And I was very depressed because ever since I had cancer, I had been having issues with my weight, trying to deal with my weight issues and trying to, come to grips with, the fact that I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but that I really want to, get my weight back down because it was down to like 70 kilos, which is about, I guess, about 140, 145 pounds thereabout. But I wanted to get the weight down because I really felt unhappy with the way things were. So I decided that I was going to try and lose weight. And so that's when I started walking. And I've been walking every day, 6,000 steps. My goal at first was 4,000 steps, and I found that that was pretty easy to achieve. And then I changed walking programs because the one was really expensive, and I didn't really feel like paying that much money just to walk. So I found one that was free, an app on my phone that was free, and it has like the goal is like 6,000 steps in a day. So I walk 6,000 steps at least, which is about between 3 and 4 kilometers, which is about, I guess, about 2 miles in a day's time. So I'm doing that every day. So I've lost weight. I've lost 10 kilograms, and I'm down to 80 thereabouts, and I'm still wanting to lose 10 more kilos. But I'm walking every day and I'm eating right and stuff like that. So I'm feeling like a lot better. And last year I was in Haida and I tried this blouse on. My mother-in-law said, "Oh, I have this blouse, I want to give it to you, and I want you to see if it fits." So I tried it on and I said I felt like a totally overpacked salami when I tried the blouse on. Well, today I'm wearing the blouse because I've lost the weight and I don't look like a salami anymore when I wear it. So I'm extremely happy that I can wear it now. So there's like small goals, little things that, they're coming up that are making me very, very happy and they're bringing me a lot of joy. So this is what I'm going to suggest to everybody. Anybody who's watching, go out and find the stuff that brings you joy, makes you happy, and do it. Find that joy, find that, because there's so much going on in the world that we really need to be able to find that happiness or find that sense of joy. So I just wanted to say that. I wanted to get that out there. It's a long intro, but I thought that it was just really important for me to say it. So I'm going to do the meditation, and I'm going to pull a card from this deck. This is the Gilded Reverie Lenormand deck. I found it when I was in Haida. I don't know anything about the cards and what they say, but I do know that it's kind of they're beautiful cards, and that I just want to see what comes up with these cards. What am I going to get with these cards? Just in relation to the meditation. I might pull tarot after I finish, but I don't know. Let's see how long the video is. But here is the from this is from Ciro Marchetti, and I love these cards. They're so beautiful, and they actually have extra cards. And I actually pulled the extra cards out. So there's like 2 men, 2 women, and 2 birds cards. I have no idea what they mean, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm just going to see if the images actually relate in any way to the to my meditation. Today's meditation is about self-forgiveness. So that is a key word here, self-forgiveness, and this is stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna pull this card, and what I get is this ship. And I think that's a beautiful card. It makes me kind of think of, I was watching this movie called Castle in the Air, and it's from Ghibli. It's a Ghibli film, and it had this flying castle, and it was really, really big, and it kind of symbolized a lot of like ecology and ecological kinds of things. So that's kind of the thought that I get with regard to this. But it also is a sense of freedom, and that sense of being free from the things that are tying us to earth, tying us to all this mentality, to this ideas that we have about ourselves and about the world around us. So that is the card that I got. I'm going to put this to the side, and then I'm going to start the meditation. So today is day number 8 on this. I had 3 weeks off, and it's July 23rd, 2025. And I call this self-forgiveness because that's what it really is about. And I said, I've been away from all this for 3 weeks, if not more. I've missed you. And Sunshine says, we've always been with you during the moments when you have pulled cards, and also during the times when you have been alone. And I said, it's nice to feel that I am reconnecting with you. And Sunshine says, you've always been connected with us. Even when it seems like you've not been in connection with us, the truth is you have connected with us during these moments of time. And during the times of sleep. I said, perhaps, but it has all been on an unconscious level. Sunshine says, you're going to find that in many instances, things are more profound, deeper on an unconscious level. You are perhaps not always going to be physically aware of it, But on a deeper level, you will find that there is a sense of connectedness present, specifically when you are not fully aware. Let us delve into the earlier meditation and you will see what I mean. And I said, okay, I started by quoting a song, "Be gentle with yourself. The jungle seems to roar. We've all been there before." These are the lyrics to a song I once heard. It spoke to me then, and it speaks to me now. And Sunshine says, stands to reason. You were asking yourself why it is you are taking a break from connecting with us. And now you are seeing that it is significant to be gentle with yourself, to forgive yourself when the necessary time presents itself to you. The thing about forgiveness is not always about being convinced that you have to forgive for the sake of another. When you are saddened by the actions you have or have not taken, then you do not have to sit and say that it is a matter of forgiving and letting go. What people sometimes forget or not take into account does not lie in the notion of forgiving and letting go, and the notion that you are human. You do not have to be perfect. You do not have to sit in this space and say, in order to be a spiritually aligned being, it is necessary to let go and forgive, but instead to accept that you are what you are. The song tells you this. Be gentle with yourself, even or especially in those moments when the act of forgiveness is especially hard. You see, when you choose to forgive, it is not about recognizing that you have erred, but you have recognized the notion that you are human and have these human tendencies. By embracing the fact that you are human and will make mistakes, this is an asset of growth that you can embrace. To say, I know that I am human and that I make mistakes basically means that you understand that the basis of growth will be that you have learned something profound. And I said, I think self-forgiveness is one of the hardest things we can do. I know that often I go through the feelings of what is wrong with me. I have, during the past years, discovered that the young ladies in the ham radio community have sort of distracted me. I have tried to fit in with the younger women in the group, only to discover that I don't really belong. I've ended up feeling used, being scolded, and often accused by them. I have tried to make an effort to fit in with them, but clearly I do not. Then I question if there was something wrong with me. Why is it that in various group settings do I feel like this group of individuals are not for me? And Sunshine says, because clearly they are not. You asked or mentioned the notion of being gentle with yourself. Well, in relation to a group that have shown you that you don't feel like you belong, you're trying to shove square pegs into round holes. When people get angry with you for trying to defend yourself, or when you want only to help and they throw accusations at you, then you have learned that this is not the group for you. You are a sensible person. You may march to a beat of a different drum, but you deserve respect, not adoration. But when you make an intention to help another person and they respond in anger to you, then you learn about what to do, about who they really are, and you understand that they are not the people you thought they were. This does not mean that all of these little subgroups are like this. It just means that you have seen fit firsthand that many are. You've been blindly accused of something on two different occasions, and now you are recognizing that you do not want situation number 3. I said, it is a hard lesson. And Sunshine says, but it will show you that next time the situation presents itself to you, that you will not be all willing to step forward or even volunteer to do something. I said, yes, I can see that. I will probably look for an excuse to not do something. Sunshine says, or you can simply say the truth. I've been burnt before, and the rest of the mindset, and I have I'm not in the mindset to do it again. I said, or as my husband often says, they can find another sucker to write their articles or operate their club stations. Sunshine says, indeed. So let us continue, or you will be writing all day. And I said, all too often I've been far more harsh with myself than I should have been. And Sunshine says, yes, you have. I said, and as I was growing up, I often heard the words, you're not good enough, or you're too slow, or too fat, and so on. I realized that such words were spoken as a way to bring me down, to make me believe that there was something wrong with me. Sunshine says, there's nothing wrong with you. You look at two different groups and you see the same abusive tendencies in both. You have decided to release yourself from them. It is not about you trying to fit in, but about you realizing you're releasing yourself from the painful actions. It's not like living with a narcissist. It is like living with a narcissist. You have been told for so long that you are the problem and that the actions are and these actions are toxic. There is no need to sit and allow yourself to stew in toxins because two groups of people have tried to invalidate you or your contributions. I said, you're very blunt about this. She says, and why wouldn't I be? I'm not neutral. I see the pain that this causes you, and I see how you struggle with it. Wouldn't you prefer to have your team support you? It may mean that I'm being blunt. Then so be it. And I said, I appreciate that. And she said, there you go. And I said, as I got older, I found myself constantly judging myself, thinking or believing that I need to constantly prove my worth to others. When people would say unkind things to me, I would take it to heart somehow, believing that it was something true or that their cruel words had merit. There is a saying that people really discover what others think of them when things go wrong. There is a shift in the energy. And Sunshine says, indeed, and you saw this through those experiences. And I continued, the dark feelings and emotions have no place. They are not important. Sunshine says, yes, and those things can be let go of. Another quotation, and I continued, another quotation I've often heard is, be yourself because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind. This is, in essence, the key to being gentle with myself. It is not a question of whether or not people will judge me for being weird, or it is a matter of fact that whatever it is they think of me won't matter because their feelings are none of my business. Sunshine says, yes, it's a lesson, a help in helping to discover who you are, who your true friends are, and what their intentions in your life are. You have your friends. Your greatest fear of being alone is oftentimes that fear is unfounded. You have your team, and sometimes solitude is far better than being surrounded by a bunch of strangers. I said, that is true. If I had actually realized that 20 years ago. And Sunshine says, come on, Yvette, you can't know everything. As time passes, the lessons become clearer to you. I said, so the angels tell me, enjoy the sunset, make animal shapes out of the clouds, and enjoy the things that you love. The opinions of others do not matter. Be kind to yourself, enjoy the things you love, cast out the negativity, and be a dreamer. Sunshine says, the dreams you carry in your heart, the bucket list, all of these things will enhance your life. The expression of joy is a gift. The opportunities to express yourself and experience joy are yours for the taking. And I said, we are the music makers and we are the dreamers of dreams. I once heard that in a film. It was in response to a negative comment, and somehow it resonated with me. If all coincided with the idea that when a person emotes nasty words or negative feelings, perhaps they themselves have forgotten about the idea of being gentle with themselves, and maybe they should be held in the light rather than given away any of my energy to. And Sunshine says, you have come full circle with this. You have recognized that you have work still left to do in forgiving yourself. But you also recognize that closure in groups is not an act of punishment, but rather an act of self-care. My husband just sneezed. I said, thank you, Sunshine. And Sunshine says, let's go ahead and finish this out. You still have some more to go. And read on. I said, okay. So today I welcome the voices of my angels and guides when they tell me, you are loved, you have a light in you that is more special, more magical, and more magical than you can imagine. And I think it's more amazing than you can imagine. Hold on to that light. It may seem small and insignificant, but it is not. Some say that a small pinpoint of light can guide another home, and in time it can merge with the light of others and create a glorious masterpiece. Sunshine says this is when you find the groups of people where you truly belong. It will show itself to you in ways beyond your wildest imaginings. Just keep the faith and know that this will mark an amazing awakening in you. I said it all starts with kindness and love of self. Through the nurturing of self, the light will merge, and all of the others merge with that of the others and blanket the earth. And Sunshine says, and so it is. We will continue tomorrow. I said, thank you, Sunshine. It now feels as though I have not been away. Sunshine says, and in essence, you have not. And I said, what an amazing feeling. And Sunshine says, indeed, till we meet again. And that's where we ended. So that is the meditation. I'm glad to be back to doing this. Feels very, very good. I woke up this morning at like 7 o'clock in the morning. Couldn't go back to sleep, so I thought I'd get up and do the meditation. And I sat down, started writing, and it was 9 o'clock when I finished. And then it was time for breakfast. So that's what we did. So this is a new journey. This is the journey. And it is a beautiful one. These cards are really amazing. Let's see what's underneath that. And then I got the ring. I have no idea what these cards mean, but they are just gorgeous. I'm just going to do a little flip through here and show you these cards because they're really nice. There's the dog. And oh, the lilies. Aren't they beautiful? And here's roses. Lots of nature here. Oh, this is the coffin card. And even that is beautiful. I mean, it's just, there's something very peaceful and resonant in this. Kind of makes me think of Egypt. Ah, the snake. Slytherin. Okay. Yes, I read Harry Potter, and yes, I did the Pottermore, and they did the thing where they put you in houses and stuff. And I got Slytherin. This was before all the crazy cray stuff started happening with the writer. But yeah, yeah. It was one of the things that connected me to my father-in-law because he loved the books, and I'm glad that he transitioned before all the cray came out because it would have been really hard for me to kind of contend with that. Oh, here is the labyrinth. This is really interesting. But I've seen labyrinths where the people have been taller, or the bushes have been taller and you can't see the people. There's the castle. It's really pretty. Oh, this is a very peaceful card. This is the sky. I'm not sure what the cards are called, but I just call them what I see in the steps leading up to the stained glass window. She's beautiful. This is the lady. This makes me think of the Smurfs. It's a house. It's really beautiful. Oh, here's the book. That's a really pretty card. These cards are shuffled, so that's why the numbers are coming up so weird. It's like a compass, sending direction, I would guess. I'm not sure what this card is, but I think it's like two faces. So maybe it's like false friends, false people, false individuals. Stairs. This reminds me of the Two of Wands with the road diverging in two different ways and having to choose a path to go down. Here's the anchor, which is really pretty. And the fish. Here's the cross. On the dice. I saw these hanging from somebody's car a few days ago. We were parking in the grocery store parking lot, and I saw two white dice hanging from somebody's rearview mirror. I thought that was out of style, but I guess people are still doing it. Here's the mountains. Very pretty. Here's the letter. These cards are absolutely gorgeous. It's the sky. Harvest. This is for the harvest. I don't think this is a bad card. I think this is a harvest card because you have the wheat and everything on there. The birds. Here is the child, the innocence. Here's the rat or the mouse. I saw the mouse, but beautiful. And some of these cards are so beautiful, and they seem to have the negative energy to them, but they're not really negative because the images are so gorgeous. Like I think this is like the Wheel of Fortune, the tarot. Here's the harvest again. This makes me think of the Gallifrey or something from Doctor Who. Here's the well. Oh, I love this one. This is really pretty. And yeah, clock. There's the key in the cage, the bird cage. Okay, this one's the carousel. Here's there's like the sun card, I think, in the tarot. Here's the man. God, he's so handsome, isn't he? There's the flowers. Oh, polar bear. I like that one. I know the bear is kind of symbolic of kind of a negative energy, but I always think of the little polar bear from the story. Right. Here's the fox. Fox is really pretty too. And here's the birds. And there's three more cards. There's one that's like when the woman is boobies and stuff, and not really good to show. The guy I can show. Ooh. And then there's the bird, the other birds. Those are the three extra cards that are in the deck. So there's there are 44 cards of the deck, and then you have the um, three extra cards. So anyway, okay. My husband just came in. He has a letter in his hand, so I think we got some cards or something today. So yeah, that's the this is called the Gilded Reverie Lenormand cards. It's a very beautiful deck if you're like into I saw on Denise Knight's Nimination, she has this cards that she uses. They're like a Victorian style card, and I'm not sure what they're called, but they're from Ciro Marchetti as well, and they're like sort of like from the Victorian era, and these cards are amazing, and I've been trying to find them because they just are so gorgeous. But she uses them for a lot of her political readings because she does a lot of political stuff on her channel, and it's just really really good. She does absolutely amazing. She takes the cards and she takes like 40 or 20 something cards and she lays them out, and then she puts like she uses a pointer and she shows where the cards are like knighted to this and what this means and stuff like that. She does a really thorough a thing on there as to how the cards are read. And so I've been watching her channel just trying to learn what the cards are and what they mean and stuff like that, and that's been very helpful. It's a very useful tool. So I would recommend her channel. I'll post a link in the description to her channel so that you can go there and you can check out some of her readings because she does some amazing stuff. And so I'm learning from a lot of the people that are on YouTube. So shout outs to all the YouTube readers and everybody that does the readings here on YouTube. I think that they are amazing, and I'm like really really happy that I can watch these channels and I can actually learn from the readers. They're very very good, very talented, very insightful individuals, and I'm very pleased to be able part of that idea. Not really part of the community yet, but I really do feel that the folks on YouTube are very, very. There's a sort of a community bond between a lot of the readers and stuff. Very nice. At any rate, I hope you have a wonderful day. I've babbled on long enough, and I hope you have a great day. I'm great. I'm really happy to be back, really just to do the meditations and to share the cards and stuff like that. And so, thank you very much for being here. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and I hope to be back tomorrow for another meditation. Take care, and as always, namaste.